Now, I'd like to start the first session of this contest. Let us welcome the first speaker. The first speaker is Ms. Rina Ito. Her speech title is Omotenashi on the Road. Omotenashi on the Road. So, Ms. Ito, please splash with word and splash your world.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony and distinguished judges and questioner. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Omotenashi. Crystal Takigawa used the word omotenashi, meaning the spirit of hospitality, to describe the national character of Japanese people. However, do you think enough omotenashi is shown from us to the tourists? In line with the national policy of attracting 13 million tourists, the Japanese government and the service industry are working on, for example, increasing free wireless hotspots and placing lots of bilingual employees. To flourish the tourism industry, you may think that the government and the service industry are the only ones responsible. But it's not true. We, citizens, also have a role. Today, I'm standing here to propose a way for Japan to prepare for further globalization in the future. I would like the audience to help out the tourists and turn Japan into a country where they will want to visit again and again. Along with constantly attracting new visitors, creating repeaters to the country is important. The Nikkei Marketing Journal, a newspaper company, asked 100 tourists about the things they disliked about Japan. Their answers focused on the lack of language services and the lack of people who try to explain to the tourists. I heard from an American friend who visited Japan 2 years ago that she was shocked. When she tried to ask people on the road for directions, they all walked away saying, "Sorry, I cannot speak English," in English. Japanese people are not showing enough omotenashi. Imagine yourself being a tourist and getting refused when you ask for help. How would you feel? Let me share you my experience that made me not want to go back to a country again. When I was 10, my family and I visited Spain. There, we got lost. On the same street, there were ladies chatting and a man licking ice cream. We asked them for help, but they didn't help us. They looked away as if saying, "Nah, I don't want to get involved." Even though everything else in Spain had been great, this experience made me not want to go back to the country again. For the tourists, the people on the streets are the representatives of the country. Then, what will make tourists want to visit a country again? I believe there's a role that we citizens can do to help. That is, to throw away our sense of fear and help the tourists out. According to a data of Valley Create, a research company, about 80% of its respondents' reasons for avoiding non-Japanese people was that they felt scared of being unable to communicate properly. Our roles to help out tourists seems to be hampered by language barriers. However, actually, there's no need to worry about language barriers. Today, we can use a smartphone for translation. Thanks to the development of technology, translation applications have become more sophisticated, accurate, and fast. So, if you find a tourist looking for help, go up to them. Turn on your smartphone to open the application, and your job is all done. These are easy steps, right? Even if you don't have a smartphone or haven't downloaded the application yet, don't turn away. Listen to the tourist's needs. Use gestures like pointing out directions. Ask people around you to help. Tourism is set to grow in Japan. We must take action. What are the benefits for you in helping out tourists? I should not really have to mention this. Hospitality is something given out of shared humanity. However, the benefits go beyond moral satisfaction. Last C1 Brokerage estimated that the economic impact from tourism in 2015 was 16.7 trillion yen, representing 3.5% of the nation's GDP. By boosting the number of tourists, the economy will flourish, which will result in amount of pocket monies. This might not be a bad idea, right? It may be easy if you just ask the tourists to learn some Japanese before the trip. However, is this a real omotenashi? We are the hosts and the tourists are the guests. Some people may mention that Japanese people are just shy in general. But we must keep in our minds that we are the representatives of the country. Our actions will be interpreted as the country's image. Showing omotenashi will also be an opportunity for strutting out to the world. We must welcome in the guests without demanding any preparation. In 2020, Tokyo is hosting the Olympics. The country is definitely going to experience a rise in the number of tourists. But how about afterwards? To make Japan a country where tourists would want to visit again and again, we must remember that each and every one of us are the representatives of the country. The process is simple. Use gestures, or just take out your smartphones and they will do the rest. Step forward and take action. Have confidence. Help the tourists out. It will be the perfect opportunity for Japan to show off its omotenashi, starting from our actions on the road. Thank you for listening.
Now we have a question and answer session. Mr. Katayama, please.
Ms. Ito, you talked about your bad experience in Spain.
Yes.
What was your best memory you had been helped with while visiting a foreign country?
The best thing was there was a time when I dropped my handkerchief on the road, and it was in some foreign country that I could not speak in. And, I wasn't able to communicate with the people living in that country, but they pointed at the handkerchief and told me that I dropped it. And so it was a handkerchief that I really liked, so they helped me, and that was the best thing that happened to me in a foreign country.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next question is, true that many Japanese are hesitant to speak to a foreigner because of the language barrier. But what other causes do you think also contribute to such non-committal attitudes?
I think the Japanese people being shy is also another thing that makes them unable to communicate properly. But as I have said in my speech, we are the representatives of the country, so by thinking that our actions will be interpreted as the tourist image of that country, we must take away that shyness and go for it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all my question.
Thank you, Mr. Katayama. The Q&A session is over. Thank you, Ms. Ito. Please go back to your seat.